right back. Like I said, if I found my wallet, I'll be right back. Y'all niggas stay right there. They found my wallet. I'll be right back. I'm about to play Zelda shit for y'all boys. Y'all can watch Zelda while I'm gone. I'll be back. I'll be right back. Hold on.
You know, always say if you have time for school, you have time for a call. I like that. How are ya? I'm great. How are
Let
you,
me
man?
say that shit.
Hey, Mimi. When connection matters, it has to be AT&T. I'm right here. I miss you, Jimmy. I see you too. I love you. Bye. At AT&T,
Oh, they found my
shit.
shit. They found my wallet. Bruh, how did the controller just fall? What the hell? Like, I can't believe they found my wallet. I gotta go grab that hoe real quick. Chat. And then we back on the Spider-Man. Alright? Alright? Alright, chat? They found my wallet. Alright, chat? It shouldn't take me no time to go get the ball. They found my wallet. Gonna go grab it for the ones that were watching the marathon. I told y'all niggas it's a marathon, bro. You never know what can happen. I love y'all niggas, man. For real. I'll be right back. I'm not gonna stay out too long because I don't even got no clothes on. I got shorts on and shit. Damn, I look crazy. Hold on, let me get right real quick before I leave the house. I look a little crazy. Damn, I can't believe they found my shit. That's crazy how they found my wallet. Ain't that crazy, chat? W's in the chat though. For the found wallet. If you wanna throw shade my way, baby, we can go with a little more aim. If you throw it your name, I'm freezing. Stevie Wonder, my phone. I got everything. Put some lotion on. Where's my lotion? Alright, good. Put some lotion on. I'll be right back. Make sure this shit's streaming. Put the fan on this hoe. Oh. Okay, I got everything I need. Okay, Chad, I'll be back. Okay, Chad, I'll be back.
sections that you have to walk through within the installer. Some are required, while others are optional. One of the first prompts you'll see during the installation process asks which OpenSUSE product you want to install. So, plot twist, Leap and Tumbleweed aren't the only versions of OpenSUSE. There's also Leap Micro as well. Micro is a lightweight, immutable operating system designed primarily for containerized and virtualized workloads. In other words, it's generally intended to serve as a reliable container host rather than a conventional desktop operating system. The first option,
party. My fault, gang. I'm just pissed off because the police just played with me, gang. Bitch ass niggas, bro. Oh yeah. Yeah, chat. What they talking about, nigga? All that playing, talking about my wallet not there, this, that, and the bitch ass nigga. Stop playing with me, gang. Get my shit before I punch you in your motherfucking face, nigga. What's wrong with you? You got my I can't even speak on that. Bitch ass nigga, I smack you in your motherfucking face for playing with me. What's wrong with you, nigga? Folks them done had to walk in the courthouse, all type of shit, gang. Yes, bro. I done seen two niggas I know in that bitch. Fries, bro. Damn, you been up? That nigga been up. Chad, that nigga been up this whole time. Oh yeah, I'm on that, brother. Boy, I was so mad. Niggas the whole hour, folks. I could have been in the game. I was so pissed off.
Alright, so you was outside this whole time?
Hell yeah, nigga, I was gone. I was downtown. I had to go, bro, them niggas, cause a nigga texted me talking about they found my wallet. It's at the courthouse. So I went down there. But then the policeman trying to make it seem like, bro, I don't know what that bitch ass nigga was on. I smacked the shit out of him. Bro, that nigga trying to make it seem like it's not my wallet, this ain't my wallet, this and the third, not trying to tell me it's there. Nigga, I done left the courthouse. Hold on, let me put